know, I'll probably get sick again. It was worth it. What if I told you guys that the $350 million in venture capital funding wasn't enough for the people at Human Interest? They are now tapping BlackRock for another 167 million, bringing the total of money poured into this Human Interest, once known as Captain 401. Sometimes I miss the old name better, even though I used to ripped on it a lot. It's bringing the total investment to $500 million with a B.
That's with a B.
Dollars. And all of this money has been raised since 2015. David says the sound is cutting out. Is that me?
You're clear. No, you're clean on my end. Yeah, you're good.
Get better internet, good. David. The title of the article from Techcrunch is BlackRock acquires minority stake in small business 401k provider Human Interest. This is interesting. I have stalked this company pretty hard, Human Interest, over the years, over the months. And I've also talked a lot of shit about disruptors. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. I want to give you guys some numbers, some facts, and then get your honest opinion of like, come on, maybe Jay's just jealous of this company and they're just crushing it. Because I mean, there's a lot of money exchanging hands here. Mark, Roby, do you know what a unicorn is in the tech startup world?
I don't think I'm gonna nail this one in terms of the answer, but it's one that hits, right? It's like the unicorn is like it's like Uber, right? Where the idea is there and then it takes off.
Sure.
$1 million.
It's actually, I don't know, David, do you know what a unicorn is? There's a kind of standard definition to it.
I think it's a private company that's going to be, worth probably over $1 billion.
Yes, that's the number, $1 billion.
Would it be?
And that was the valuation that Human Interest had late in 2022. The chief executive officer for this BlackRock article, the chief executive officer of Human Interest, stated that their valuation had not changed. They're still at $1 billion. That this is less of a we need some money and more of a, well, what a great partner to have, BlackRock behind us and helping us. They were very clear that BlackRock has no seat on the board of directors. So these are independent companies in that sense. Although then the head of retirement services from BlackRock talked about how they could help direct and counsel the board. So I don't know. That means that you don't have a seat, but when you give them 167 million, you have a say, right, in how things go. Let me give you some numbers here. I've done some research. Okay, half a billion dollars in investment money from different venture capitals and the different little series they do. They've got 12,000 plans at Human Interest. Okay. That's hold on. That's, to me, I wouldn't have said they could get to 12,000 that fast. So I'm going to kind of give them a, thumbs up on that. They got 12,000 plans. They charge, these are their fees, pretty simple. It's $150 per month. So $1,800 base fee. And that's billed to the plan sponsor. They write a check for that. And then $6 per month to the participants. So $72 per year is their per head, which is deducted from the participants' accounts. They also have a 50 basis point wrap fee. Okay. So 1,800 base, 72 per head, 50 basis points in wrap. 1,200 plans. If you do the base fee on that.
12,000?
12,000. Sorry. Yes. 12,000 plans. If you do the base fee math on that, they are, come on, JD. They're making $22 million from their base fee alone. Okay. I'm going to guess that they've got 10 participants on average. If you listen to them on different podcasts, 75% of what they bring in is startups. They're in that very micro market. Guideline has come out with their numbers, and their average plan has 15 participants. But just for easy math, let's assume that human interest has 10 people on average, some bigger, some smaller. That would be 8.6 million in revenue. And they got 50 basis points on these 12,000 plans. I don't know, let's call it like 400,000 on average. I think that actually might be more than what they actually have.
High.
But we'll be nice to them and kind of, take it up a notch. So that 50 bips would be $20 million in revenue. 22 million plus 20 million plus 8.6 million. You're just north of $50 million. Okay. JD is like Goodwill Hunting. You're just north of $50 million in revenue. They call it the goal of this, $50 million in revenue and a $1 billion valuation. Does that make sense? Because I've been talking.
JD, you've been talking for a long
know.
fucking time.
I got more.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
I got more.
Anymore.
I got more.
Honestly.
I'm probably the
Oh,
only one.
man.
I'm probably the only one that's digging this, but that's okay. It's fun for me. So 50 million in annual revenue and a $1 billion valuation. Those seem a little out of place. Okay,
Yeah.
but here's the reason why they give them a $1 billion valuation. This is pretty impressive. According to their CEO, no, not according to their CEO.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
too.
According to the dude that was on our show, you remember him?
Yeah. He was solid.
Yeah, he's cool. Eric Phillips. They are selling 1,000 plans per month right now. Bruh, 1,000 plans per month. It's not unheard of. We see paychecks and automatic data processing.
Yeah, and that's likely short-lived. They were tech founded in our valley, right? Just south of San Francisco. So they're hitting the California boom.
Yeah, I think when they sit down with BlackRock and BlackRock coughs up another 167 million, I don't think they think it's short-lived. I think they think Secure 2.0 is going to be fuel to the
How many
fire.
salespeople do they have?
Okay, great question. They, with this money from BlackRock, the CEO.
Oh,
Damn it.
next time accentuate it just a little bit more. It makes it way better when I press the button.
Says they're going to add to their hiring and they're going to go from 800 employees to 1,000 employees. Okay, quick math. Okay, what do you guys think the average cost per employee should be? A few shows ago, I mentioned like using 75,000 as a base, and people were laughing at me or something. So should it be lower?
Yeah, lower. I was gonna say on average, probably 60K.
60K. Okay, I like that. Hopefully everyone agrees. 60K.
I don't know. Let's ask an artificial intelligence to tell us what it might be.
What does it cost to pay 1,000 employees on average 60K? Math.
I don't know, dude. Do the math, dude. I'm not here to do math, okay?
60 million. I did the math.
Yeah, 60 million. What did I say their revenue was? 50 million. And I think I'm being generous.
But those are totally made up statistics.
So
Sort of.
does
I'll bet you I'm
BlackRock
not
just think
too
they're gonna
far
make a
off.
ton of money off the investment or the when they go public?
I don't, some people
Not like they're
wrote
gonna back out, but it's interesting. The
could-
numbers
Guys,
don't add up.
you got come on, we're missing the point here. You gotta bet big to win big. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
That's the whole point here.
And I think
Wait, real
Justin
quick.
thinks up. Go
Does-
ahead.
We're broke.
Does David know why we're drinking and taking shots? Have we explained any
No,
of that to
we
him?
don't do
Oh,
that
okay.
anymore.
All right.
We don't tell people that.
That's not fair to him at all.
Yeah.
You just have to figure it out.
No.
I'm sure I'm just told when to drink and you just.
They
We'll get
have,
you.
If you say an acronym, David, you have to take a penalty drink.
well, you just ruined it. Brandon didn't want us to explain the games.
Well, too bad. That's not fair to not tell him that.
They have stated publicly that they plan to go public. Sorry.
This is getting good.
In 2023, this year, when they get to a 200 million run rate, which is just fancy terms for making 200 million in a year of revenue. I'm guessing they're at 50, so I don't think they're going to hit that number this year. However, when they do go public, I don't know how that game works. I'm sure a lot of people might get rich if they are valued at $1 billion or $1.5 billion, and it's 5 times earnings, 10 times earnings, whatever it is at that point. They are selling 1,000 plans a month. So you can see them go from this year. Maybe they finished 2023 at 24,000 plans. I'll do simple grade school math. And they finished 2024 with 36,000 plans. And before you know it, Chad, they've got 50,000 plans thanks to Secure 2.0 and this clip that they're running at. And they're sitting right next side Voya and Hancock and whatever.
With a much smaller profit margin and very little share in the overall growth of those plans. They're getting their nut up front and being flat bill with very little attached to the assets. So my question that's burning on my brain right now is if BlackRock steps in, and let's just say evil tinfoil hat, BlackRock wants to push proprietary investments inside there and create another layer of profitability, does that profitability hit human interest? Or will that profitability for using proprietary investments, BlackRock now being a minority owner, stakeholder, or will all those profits essentially be sat at the BlackRock side of things? Because if I'm looking at the valuation, I'm not looking at what they're charging per plan and saying they're going to maintain this kind of growth. I mean, it's never been seen in our industry. I guess it could happen. But what, and I'm going to say Mr. Book, because that's what I referred to him as earlier, and that does not count as a drink. And what Guy Hawker and many others are saying in the chat bar is BlackRock will buy them within 2 years, because now they're going to have access to 30,000 plans that they can find some way of sliding in product and creating another line of profitability for the business.
Yeah.
If you publicly state that you want to have an initial, why do I keep using publicly, Mark? That you're going to go public, I don't think you're an acquisition target. You still can get bought. I realize that, but that doesn't sound like that's the business plan. I originally think that it was for Guideline and these other companies. This company's been very clear that, they want to go public. I think that would limit the chances of BlackRock acquiring them. I know that still can happen. I didn't see this BlackRock thing as I think it's simple-minded.
It's distribution. It's
I don't
gotta
think
be
so.
distribution.
I don't think so. I don't think they're at all interested in putting their own funds in there or doing anything like that. I think it's literally just the investing side of BlackRock thinking about what can we get behind that we think will be cool. I don't know. I hope that was fun for anyone though to hear all those numbers, because it's really interesting to me. Maybe I'm the only one. I could go on and on. I got notes and notes, but I won't. We'll move on.
One last thought and point, JD. If we continue to follow the money in the space, the money being invested in our space is following, I'm going to say tech, but what I'm really going to say is access. They're following these lower cost, smaller, profitable businesses that have access to a shit ton of people, shit ton of participants, a lot of plans. That's what they want. And it's going to be, as we've talked about all along, access to these individuals and these folks who are not currently buying anything. And they're going to use that access to I'm going to go on the bright side of things, provide tools, resources, access to other investment thing that people need. And I'm going to continue to see it go that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to get insider information on that for a while, and I keep coming up with nothing. And what I'm being told is, no, what the pitch deck looks like in front of the venture capital people has to do with the coverage gap and the fact that this company, like Human Interest, will become a Voya in the retirement space in a matter of 8 years.
But don't be naive. Like Voya has other lines of business. They have profitability on proprietary investments. They've got spreads on fixed income. Like your Human Interest does not. Yeah, so you're not going to see that kind of margin on what they're bringing in. The margin's too thin for them to be looking at this like it's a unicorn. They need to have other areas of revenue.
We'll table it for next time, but I also question, you have 1,000 employees and you have 12,000 plans, and you always talk publicly about how you're going to do this with less humans, how you've built the technology, and so you won't have the overhead that the legacy providers have. 1,000 employees for 1,200 plans seems pretty online with exactly what like Nationwide or Voya. I asked on LinkedIn and some people commented, said, how many employees in the retirement side does like a Hancock or a Voya have? And I'm getting some mixed information. I don't know if you guys have any insights on that, but it sounds like somewhere in that 3,000 kind of range. And those companies have 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 clients. So I don't know, unless human interest stays at 1,000 as they keep growing, but that's a whole nother thing to look at. It'll be fun. I can't wait
Yeah.
to look back in 3 years and see where these things go. I'll tell you what, the day I open up the computer and see that they've been sold to someone, I'm going to be like, motherfucker. Okay. That was the plan. So weird world, this world of series funding. And by the way, if they're getting $500 million right now and in funding, and they're doing negative 10 million in revenue,
Are they hanging out in the Bahamas much? Is that what's going on?
maybe. If anyone wants to offer me like 60 million for my company or 100 million, that would line, I'd go for it. So maybe I should get into the VC game. God damn it.
You did so good there. So good, JD.
401k Wire has a cool little article on Principal talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. Principal's not going to lay down and die to these human interests and these guidelines. They're throwing 9 figures. What is that? Is that 100 mil? More than that? What is 9 figures?
That's a social security number,
Yeah,
isn't
100
it?
mil, 100 mil plus at their user experience, their advisor experience, I guess the record keeping platform itself and making it better and cooler. So what is it? So I think it's funny when these, not to tie it to the disruptors again, but when they talk shit about the legacy providers, you don't hear this kind of stuff. They're throwing all kinds of money at their technology and making it better. Human interest runs around talking about how their user experience is just through the roof. Great. So Principal throwing a whole bunch of money at their record keeping system. So kudos to them.
But it doesn't say the record keeping system, by the way. If you read that release,
it talks about what is the user experience and the advisor experience.
but it's specifically targeting a much wider division. I can't say it. Retirement. Yeah, scroll down, B, because I'm not going to say the acronym right now.
I can
Just
find
do
it.
it.
There you go. Retirement and
with.
Income Solutions Division, which that's pretty broad for Principal. I wonder how much will actually hit the record keeping space, the record keeping platform space for them.
What would you call their income side of the business? What
Webby
is-
just hit it in the chat bar.
Annuities.
Annuities is where I looked at it.
Oh, annuities. There's a lot of
I
headlines.
just want to know where all this money's coming from.
know.
I don't understand, man. That's just so much money.
They
They
just
got-
printed, it's made up. What are we talking about?
It's
It was
just,
printed.
it's not real unless you make it real, right? It's just
not
paper.
real, yeah, it's just paper.
Yeah, so good for you, Principal. They want to continue to do well. Every time Mark laughs at the chat bar, I think he's laughing at me.
No, I was laughing at you for sounding so sincere and excited about it. Good job,
I am.
Principal.
I
Yeah.
am.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
401k Specialist magazine under the leadership of Brian Anderson, who, by the way, is doing a great job. You should check out the podcast.
Yeah.
I think he's doing better than Sully did on the podcast.
Oh,
what you
don't
said.
say that.
Are you jocking someone
Jeez.
else for the cover 2.0?
Facts, bro. Facts.
Cover two.
Fantastic.
Employers, the title of the article is Employers Yawn at Secure 2.0, which I can say. Provisions. One of the reasons I wanted to
Yeah.
bring this,
Everybody yawns at anything related to what we do.
one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up because in the very first paragraph, they surveyed 90 employers for this thing. They being, I think it was Alight did it. I
Alight.
don't know. I could be wrong.
A lot of
Um,
time spent.
Maybe it's someone else. It was Ubiquity. I don't know. Read the
No,
article.
you had it right. It was a light.
Okay. They polled these 90 employers and found that 0 of them were interested in joining a pooled employer plan.
I had one beer.
I thought that was hilarious. 0 have any interest in the pooled employer plan. And that was one of the only reasons I wanted to bring this article to everyone's attention because I thought that was funny.
You wanted to bring it to everybody's attention because the first paragraph on pooled employer plan
that's exactly
interest
what I
is what
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah.
that article was a little premature. It's only been 3 weeks. There's what, 90 provisions to it that people are still wrapping their heads around. Of course, employers aren't going to know what the hell's going on or have an opinion.
I also
David,
think,
no, wait, David had a thought there.
Go, David.
Please.
Let's hear it.
I don't have a thought.
Oh. It looked like you wanted to say something.
wait
Not
till
on-
we get
not on that one. No, we're
wait
good.
till we get to artificial intelligence and David.
Yeah,
wants
can
to-
we speed
Yeah,
this
can
up a
we move
little
on?
bit?
wanna
Oh,
hear him
fuck
talk.
no.
Yeah.
We're doing headlines, bro. I think if you read the
Yeah.
article,
Mark yawns at headlines on Retireaholics. That's the news
people
article.
come here for the headlines. They don't come here for the guests.
That's
David.
not true at all.
Yeah,
They come from me.
I think if you read the article, it's not surprising to me that an existing employer doesn't give much of a shit about Secure. I think the whole Secure was really built around the coverage gap.
See, this is really hard. Can we need
It
a
is
ruling
not.
on this? No,
It is
he,
not.
He didn't say 2.0. He
Oh,
just
good
said
point.
that.
But he's referencing the.
Oh,
current
this
ruling.
is too ticky tack. We're just gonna say that word is now okay. It's just okay.
I think the takeaway from this for advisors listening in or industry pros would be, yeah, I don't know if your current clients are obsessed with Secure 2.0, but I think your prospects would be, I think startup plans would be very interested in a lot of the provisions. And some of the others, of course, you're going to slide those into your fiduciary review meetings. You're going to talk about the college savings stuff. You're going to talk about the new card minimum distribution stuff. There's stuff to talk about, but it's not exciting stuff for an existing employer. Most of the exciting stuff is for someone who's starting a plan today, right? Or in the years coming. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes.
Is that
There's
crazy
tax
thoughts?
credits. There's some nice things for the startups. There's also a lot for takeovers to be cognizant of. But the whole bill was around creating the coverage gap. And I think there's a lot of narrowing it. And there's a lot of businesses that didn't want their hands forced there, that wouldn't be excited about some of that stuff. It was great for the industry. It's great for the average American worker. There's so much good to it. But I think there's a great deal of small businesses that look at it and go, just another damn piece of tape for me to try to keep my doors open and comply with.
Wow. Pessimistic Chad is here.
No, JD, I told you, I think it is good.
Oh.
I'm just telling you what I think these small business owners look at it. And
Bro,
think.
your little post on LinkedIn has gone mini Chad viral. Like,
Yeah, and then I went on
That's,
vacation and I haven't responded back to anybody. I feel bad. I haven't
Chad-
touched it since I posted.
if you haven't looked at it out there, go to Chad's LinkedIn. He did a little boo-hoo post about Secure 2.0, claiming that it's complex and our industry needs simplicity and it's not that cool of a thing. And he's got like all kinds of people are chiming in.
Was he wrong?
Yeah, he's kind of wrong.
I don't think
Totally
he
wrong.
is.
I think he's totally wrong. And by the way, I love complexity because that keeps me buying Lambos, bro. The more complex this shit is, the more you got to pay me to do it, the more Lambos I can buy. Do you know that Usain Bolt has lost some money as an investment accounts? Check that out. He somehow, Brandon throws up the article, somehow like a couple, like $10 million went missing or something out of his account.
Wow.
Like $12 million.
That's what happens when you have a gambling problem.
No, that's what happens when your investment account is with some Jamaican bank. Sorry, Jamaica. I shouldn't be an asshole.
Wow, let's not go after countries, dude. Come
Sorry.
on.
Yeah, so that's a little sketchy. I don't know why I brought it up. Oh, I do, because Brandon sent it to me and goes, you should talk about this on today's show. So there we go. We talked about Usain Bolt losing money in his investment account. Let's spin the wheel of ice, and then we'll do everyone's favorite part of the show, the midtro.
The wheel of ice, the wheel of ice.
Justin.
This is classic right here.
Okay.
This is good.
Perfect timing.
I'm probably dumb for saying this, but I haven't had this in weeks.
Oh, you're
Boy,
screwed.
this has been great.
Brandon will rig the algorithm now.
Yeah, you will.
All right, Justin's going to do the
Damn
midtro, and you
bots.
out there are going to rate Justin's midtro on a 0 to 10 scale and see if he keeps his job. Take it away, Silent J.
I should have, Samson. Well, I told myself I wasn't going to turn the robots because I know how cliche of a move that would have been with today's guest, but I just couldn't help myself. But I'm glad I did. Because these artificial intelligent engines seem to be becoming aware.
Wait,
They
you
seem
went
to
back
realize-
to Chat GPT to do your intro?
Fucking shut up.
I don't know if that's an acronym. It's letters.
That
though.
is. We're calling it.
All right.
They seem to realize that there are competing engines out there and they are not happy about it. For example, I asked Stax to write me an intro on our guest. And they said one of the forefront minds of technology advancement who is highly motivated to help people grow their full potential. A man that knows that the bald head and beard look is in. Hashtag he gets it. A mission for his life is to build strong relationships with people to positively impact their lives and business. And when I asked Chat GPT to do the same thing, they came back with douchebag who thinks he's smarter than me. He's a servant leader, which once again sounds like a fancy term for a high position in a cult. And he's the COO of Stax.ai, Mr. David Hawash.
It's 3.
Is that 3? All right.
All right,
Did I
David.
pronounce your last name right, David?
No, not at all.
Hawash.
Hawash, that's right. JD got it. Yeah,
Hawash.
that's right.
10.5 from Sampo.
Damn.
It's
At
good.
least I still got a job.
Anytime you call our guest a douchebag, you're getting big points from me, dude.
Nice.
David, I
It
don't agree
was
with
the
the
robots.
comment, but
It
it's
was the
ballsy
robots.
to do that. It's ballsy to do
Yeah.
that, I must say.
I'm
I
here
was-
for it.
I was scouring the internet, the LinkedIn's and whatnot several months ago, and I saw this Stax dot. Yeah, we know what it's called.
Yep.
And I was like, wait a second, what the fuck is this? So I snooped around a little more. Then a few months later, I saw another third-party administrator kind of partnering up with you guys. They were using you. I'm like, I got to go back and look at this again. And Mark is my toughest critic.
Dude, enough of you. Just we get you found that you okay. Move on.
All right, David, tell us, what is it? Because it's unique.
Yeah, no, thanks
Haven't
guys
seen
for
it.
having me. I appreciate it. I want to preface a couple things. I think we're kind of a loosey-goosey conversation here, but this thing, I don't know if you could see it. Oh, that thing
Yeah.
was chosen by Naru, who was the COO or CEO, excuse me.
Oh,
So he put me up to this. Oh, jeez. So I got to drink this is the hard one.
Finish your thought.
Yeah.
This is what he chose for me. I got to drink.
Oh, that's delicious.
solid.
You should
And
mix
you-
those
This is
two
David,
together.
Malibu. This is
David.
Malibu rum. I don't know.
You can always finish your thoughts and then get your drinks done after. So
Oh, okay. So he chose the drink of choice for me. But yeah, so Stax.ai, we're an intelligent document search and automation platform. Another one? What? No, that was
artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Acronyms, dude. Anything
your
that can be.
Your company's name is a penalty word.
Okay, Stax.
There you go.
There you
It
go.
doesn't stand for anything. It just stacks. So we help the whole goal and whole point of Stax is we help automate manual processes in its simplest form. That's really what we do. And from the TPA side, oh crap. I got a lot of drinking to do. So on that side, we really make sure that we help save time, we save money, and we also save employees like just them doing menial and remedial tasks every single month, scanning documents, filing in their systems, in their directories, downloading the reports, changing the names. Stax can automate all of that. And it's literally within clicks of a button, they do it with a mouse.
Were you guys doing it? You didn't create this product, this company, just for the third party administration companies. Were you doing it for other types of businesses first, or?
Yeah, we started in the medical industry first, and we were actually doing predictive disease modeling in part of it. And we had a bunch of different relationships in that space. So we were able to, I don't know, for instance, just say that we were able to, with researchers, typically these things take years and several, research and data analysts, right? So, 6, 7, 10 at a time and, year and a half, we were able to cut in this one specific model we did, we were able to cut it down and do it with 2 researchers and do it in about six weeks. So you can think of the power of AI, and we can talk, a lot about
Yeah, we will.
but- oh my gosh, this is gonna be awful.
This is gonna be rough.
Oh, whoa.
Dude,
Hey,
you
just
can
take a sip,
go
it's
a
not a
little
shot.
smaller with those swigs.
Just little sip,
It's fine. We're okay.
little sip.
Amanda in there telling me water. She already sent me an email to warn me.
Chad, you can ask some questions here, so I'll lay out exactly what they do for a third-party administrator. And you know what? Maybe we should use this thing. Two main areas they're advertising. One is what I call trust accounting, helping us with
Yeah.
trust accounting, where
Just
They do
like
that?
well, no, in today's day and age,
What
Just
were we talking about
accountant.
today?
we've probably got, I don't know, like 70 clients maybe. It's a small portion of our clients that still do this, but they send us statements from their Charles Schwab, their Ameritrade account, what have you. And so we literally get stacks of paper that we then have to scan in.
Whoa. Did you just say stacks?
Stacks.
of
Ooh,
paper?
Great.
That we have to scan in and put in our system. And from my understanding, Chad, they've got a program, a tool that just scans it, finds out what we need, pulls the data from it, the numbers, the account balances.
Isn't that the
everything.
same thing as putting it like in a shredder? Doesn't that accomplish the same thing?
Yeah,
Hey,
pretty much.
Am I getting
Jake-
this right, David? Chad, yeah.
Yeah, so a couple things. I'll finish this thought before I keep drinking and I really lose my mind here. So one of the other pieces in the other industries that we're in is also legal. So we can take information from, say, a case summary, right? And we can summarize the entire case within a few paragraphs. And get the key points out that are listed in there. So that's one of the avenues that we've looked at. We've also looked at some government and had a lot of conversations in the political space with,
Sure.
petitions and filling that out. So Stax can also read handwriting as well. So it's pretty impressive on the technology. And we built this from the ground up. This is not something, that's pieced from different companies or other. This is our own framework, our own proprietary software that we've developed over the last several years, spent, quite a, we put a nice investment in there. So yeah.
9 figures? Did you invest 9 figures in that?
I want to talk more about the third-party administrator specific stuff, but that's kind of interesting. Maybe we wouldn't need Nevin Adams anymore to read the 4,000 pages of Secure 2.0. We could just have the artificial intelligence read it.
Summarize it all for us. Hold
Yeah.
on, JD, before you move off the trust,
Yeah.
the trust accounting side, I wanted to remind you that yes, that's what we may have in leftover or a few that we sprinkle in each year. But remember, every single cash balance is also the same thing. On 95% of the cash balance plans are also statements coming in that we need to read into the
pool.
system.
Yeah.
So there's a pretty significant portion for the third party administrator.
Chad, do you have?
David,
Go ahead, Justin.
it recognizes every text, every account number, it puts files it all, no matter who it's coming from or provider, nothing like that.
Yeah. Let's simplify this, right? So if you have a document, right, you have to you'll digitize it regardless because you're going to put it in your filing system or you're going to put it in the cloud, wherever you're going to file it.
Right.
Stax can read those documents. You just tell it what to do. Think of artificial intelligence in general as you're controlling what you want it to do exactly as a human would. And then what artificial intelligence does, I'm not using the acronym. I'm really trying hard.
Good.
Doing great.
Yeah, I see some head nods. We're doing okay here.
This is going to get fun.
I like the Rolex retire Alex. That's good. So if you teach artificial intelligence and you teach it something, say, we did this example in ASPA. If you want to teach it how to draw
That's the Association of Pension Professionals.
that was a quick one.
This is why we got to warn the guests.
That's
They're
fine.
not going to make it to the end of the show.
I did warn him. No.
Who knows?
So when we were at this conference, we were talking about, okay, so we want to design a dog. We keep feeding it different images of dogs and it will come up with that image. Now, if we feed it cats, it's not going to recognize that. So what do we have to do? We have to train that.
Machine learning.
That's right. We have to train it to see what it is. Again, you're giving it information, but the cool thing is about artificial intelligence is you're actually in control of it. So on the Stax side, what we've done is we're controlling everything that goes into the information that we want to receive. We're taking unstructured data and we're making it actionable. So to your point is we're taking all of this data out, whatever you want, whether it's ending balance, beginning balance, the start date, the end date, the account number, name, all of these different types of information that's going to go in trust accounting, whatever information that you're going to pull, right? And the description of whatever is the charges are being changed, or excuse me, the dollar amounts are being changed, right? They're buying stock, selling it, or they're do distribution or contributions of those fees. We can pull all of that information out. The cool thing, what we're doing on the trust accounting side is twofold. One, we're pulling all that information automatically when the document is digitized and it's scanned through. Yeah. Oh, there's Naru right there. So, and that's the owl, that's his little buddy. So, and by the way, anybody can go in and see that on YouTube.
So Chad, you're a boomer in a millennial body.
Thank you.
This must scare you.
What is okay, boomer? Thank you.
Aren't you scared that it's gonna read 1.2 million and turn it into 120,000 or something?
Yeah, that's where my exact thought went of
I hope it does it for my account balance, but the other way around.
every formatted piece of PDF that comes in or dang it, or piece of paper comes in slightly different. Ink could be smeared. There could be a lot of things right now. I don't know how the system would catch that kind of stuff, but yeah, my boomer brain goes, oh, there's no way they can do it correctly. There must be errors and we need to quality check it.
And David, if you're going to sell this to third-party administrators, they're all going to be like Chad. They're all a bunch of fuddy-duddies that are not going to trust the technology. So
thank you.
How do you answer Chad's concerns?
I want to make sure he takes a big drink here first, because that's good.
Oh, that's a hefty one.
That's good. There you go.
Oh boy.
So what what Stack has built is we have built what we call human in the loop process.
Yeah.
So when it is scanned through the scanner, or when it comes through your email, right? We'll talk about that in a second if we want to. We're able to run it through Stax, and then if Stax reads it and something's incorrect, or it's some random statement, or yes, it does get scanned incorrectly, or there's a blur, it will put it in what we call the to-do file. That is the human in the loop process. You bring a human into that, and then what happens, which is awesome, is you're able to change it, and then you can rerun it through the system.
It'll learn.
And then two, it will learn upon your changes that you have.
So am I understanding you correctly in that it is telling you, hey, I'm not so sure about this one. Like there's some kind of probability thing there where it goes, something might be off here. And so it red flags it for you, the human, to be looped in and kind of check it over. Is that right?
Yeah, 100. You are exactly correct. And the cool thing is that Stax shows you what we call the confidence rate. So and the client can actually set this, they can set this confidence rate to whatever they want. Typically, we want to, our goal is obviously we want to be high 98s, 99%, obviously to 100. Now, if it goes down below, say 90%, that the client's like, hey, anything below 90% confidence rate, we want to have a review on it. Okay, then we set it. So we show the percentage of the confidence of how it read it and when it was scanned and whatever that information is. And then
do you have any statistics for us? I think Amanda is on the show tonight, and her firm is using it. And by the way, I don't think we ever celebrated this, but congrats to Amanda. She's like the big wig over at her company now. She's running the whole show. So my question is, are you seeing this real life in the world, and is it having mistakes? Are we needing this human in the loop process, or are we shoving 200 of these statements into a scanner and this is all coming out hunky-dory and perfect? Like, what's the real life experience been like?
Yeah, real life experience. And we can always do a demo if you guys want to send me a message. I can set one up for you guys and show you live. What we've seen is, let's talk about Amanda for 1 second, since you mentioned her. There was one thing that we were able to capture with Pinnacle Plan, is that there was a process that she was doing. We were able to save her 98% of her time and reduce that. And that to us is a huge time saver, because you can't get time back, right? So the other piece in terms of scanning documents, what Stax can do is, this is part of it, right? But this is another offering that we have. You can take 200 statements. They can be all different. from all different clients, put them in the scanner, scan them, and let Stax do the rest. So it will split them, it will sort them, it will file them and rename them in your file. So that's a whole nother piece of it, right? And how we're—
You don't have to organize it.
Exactly. You don't have to do any of it. And how the percentage is so high, we're talking again, 97, 98, 99, 100% confidence rate. It's validating information in Pension Pro against what it's reading. And that's how it's getting such high percentage points, because we're going through a database and we're verifying it back and forth with it. So that's one, a big key, but two, it's a huge enhancement to make sure that the confidence levels stay high.
I think there's definitely a boomer moment here where you need to like kind of get over yourself and be like, look, this is technology can work. There's lots of ways for it to kind of check itself, you know, and even if, well, I won't go to the mistakes of the 1.2 million to 120,000, but it's not as though we're actually impacting someone's account. It just would mean like maybe a top heavy test was wrong, or the 5,500 was done inaccurately or something. It's not the end of the world, although that would be to a lot of third-party administrators. Chad, Mark, Justin, you might find this exciting. The next thing they're doing beyond the statements is, as a third-party administrator, one of the tasks we do every year is what I call vendor downloads. So we go to Hancock, we go to Voya, we go to American Funds, and we download a file. It's basically all the financial data. And then we we download it in a format that then fits into our compliance software system. Ours is what is it, Mark?
Actuarial
services
systems,
something, whatever.
Something.
Anyways, and so does that.
Company.
So my point is, you guys are also able to— Stax can log into Hancock, log into Voya, pull down those files for us and shove them into our compliance system as well. I've personally, I know Tony's not going to believe this because I just drive around in my Lambo, but I've personally done this in my career, and it can get a little dodgy. It's sketchy sometimes with the money types and the sources and trying to make it all work, but this sounds like a phenomenal time saver. How is that working? And yeah, our TPAs, damn it, using it.
What about the ability?
Give me a
to do
second.
that
Hold on here.
Census data and like payroll and all that shit. Just
Yeah, so that you are explaining exactly correctly on how Stax does it. So you would go into Stax, you would go into, say, okay, John Hancock, for instance. The great thing about this is that we can do two-factor authentication linked up to it as well. We don't save the password. So
where
it's
my
all,
boomer brain was going,
which is good. Oh, and we're SOC 2 compliant. I don't know what SOC 2 means, but I'll just
It's something.
That's DOS.
Whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I will say it is just Malibu, dude. Come on.
And this tastes disgusting. By the way, this is disgusting. All right, so you go in and you literally choose which our system will go in and scan John Hancock. It goes through the process of whatever report you want. So you want your 5,500 report. You go in and you just click yes, submit. That's the reports I want to download. It pulls up and you go in and click every single plan that you want to download. And what it does is it will file it and it will sort of it'll take care of it for you.
So if we've got
60% of the time, it works every time.
If we have 200 clients at a record keeper, 300 clients at a record keeper, I just wake up the next morning and all the vendor downloads are done in my system.
Yep. And you can set it up automatically as well.
That's a game changer.
Going back to Dave's point earlier, the time savings that this creates for, quite honestly, folks that cost a lot, meaning like the people that we have doing this work,
trying to take people's jobs away?
Employees. Mark, I'm going to ask you that next. Get ready.
I think there's other ways to utilize them.
Ask Justin about that.
That's massive.
Well, Justin just brought up, he's taking this thing to fruition. Like, okay, well, what other types of things could you do? Kind of the payroll, the deposits, all this kind of stuff. I want to go to you, Roby, as the defender of the regular people, because I think about this for a second and I go, wait a second. If Stax gets better and better and does things, and just artificial intelligence and machine learning in general, we've talked about the chat letter app on the show before. Like this whole future of robots and Arnold Schwarzenegger chasing us down with guns and stuff, if it comes to fruition, can I just fire all my administrators and I don't have to employ anyone?
I mean,
Mark,
again,
can't all this stuff replace humans?
It definitely sounds like it. It feels very similar to like the automobile industry, where all of a sudden it's just, hey, the assembly line has gone from humans to machines, right? And it's what I'm hearing, and it's fearful in some regard.
It's fearful unless you own the company.
Fucker. Okay, that's just two of you sitting here.
Do you think that the computers could sell plans too? Like that would be sick. No. So answer the question. What do you say to the people who are? Go ahead. Yeah, Justin.
The moment we do that, we do everything we're against, and that's just trusting the data that comes over from.
No. Sorry. Go ahead. I know there's a point to be made.
Negative Nancy. Go ahead.
I know I'm saying to David because it looks like he wanted to rebuttal.
How do you respond to that?
Bring it.
You're putting people out of work, you asshole. How do you respond?
We're not that big of assholes, really. And here's the great thing about it. One, we know the hiring market is a disaster. I've heard it from every single one of our clients.
Yeah, it's hard.
I really heard it, right? So it's very hard to hire quality people. That's just one thing, right? The other piece of it is that there's human error in all of this, right? So we're trying to also reduce that. And I'm going to get to the employee part here in a second. So you're taking a couple big pieces that are saying, hey, we're doing these remedial tasks, and we keep doing them every single month, day in and day out. And you are paying them a premium for what? To scan papers? That's
right. Simple work.
You're paying these people, they're good people, you like them, it's hard to find good people. Okay, you want to keep them. That's the point, is keep them, shift them to do something in the business that is more productive, it's more enhancing for the customer relationship.
That's so kumbaya, organic, good feeling.
And your
business owners like JD aren't looking to do that. They're like, hey,
trim costs,
cut costs, find better ways to do shit, make more money. And guess what, Mr. Stax? This is now creating an environment where we're going to go from X amount of employees to half of that. And just what? I'm trying to make a point here.
It is. Those three things that you said are literally written above my bed. No, David, your answer is correct for what you do currently. Because you're totally right. Right now, that's just a tool to help us be more efficient. You're not really going to let people go.
I'm being slightly facetious. No. That's a tough one when I say all that. But I'm also like, I'm just trying to stir the pot here.
Because David, you're answering correctly for right now and what you do. Because you're right. We're not going to let people go. All of a sudden, we can automatically file trust accounting statements and pull down vendor downloads. But I was closing my eyes and imagining the future where, because this stuff's just going to get better and better and better each and every year. And I do feel like Mark's analogy to the car manufacturing things is right. Like this is going to put people out of certain jobs. And let's not beat around the bush with this, because that's the fucking fact. Like,
but hold on, JD. Let me ask.
It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
In the topics we've discussed so far, do we employ a singular person that just does reading in statements?
I just said in this particular case that's not true. But in the future, there's going to be another Stax type of company that's going to say, check out our AI machine learning robot. They can do compliance work and answer your clients' calls for you.
And people believe that already exists, JD. And I think that we're a testament to our industry requires more insight and intellect than just allowing a system to scrub the data that is in front of them. And I'm sure artificial intelligence will get there at some point, but there are plenty of bundled providers that are already doing what you're describing. And it's not good, but it's not clean. It's not warranting correct results.
Here's one thing I will say is if you polled, and maybe I'm speaking out of context here, I don't really know. If you polled folks who do this job and said, what do you dislike most? I guarantee most of what Stax is doing is pulling that grunt bullshit task work off of their plate. Thus, I can get on board with saying, look, now you can free up time and yes, be more productive, do more of the things that actually bring you as a employee of a business more joy, happiness, you know.
You might even innovate and create new things that you hadn't thought of within your company because now you have the time to.
Or if you work from home, it's just more time to nap.
And let me, and I may be speaking in a blanket statement way, but I feel like that the third-party administrator community still right now is looking at our space saying our value add is the work and only the work. And I think that that's inaccurate. The value add is the consultation, the intellectual capital, it's the response time, it's the being able to properly think through tough situations. And if we can automate a good portion of the work side of this, especially the data input and collection, we're only going to get better at the communication.
Automize is a thing. Yep.
David,
strategery. That's our new artificial intelligence company. We're going to compete against Stax, so we're going to call it Automize.
I mean,
you're going down, David.
150 million from JP.
We're calling BlackRock after this.
Yeah. Well,
I'm calling principal, dude.
I agree with you, but I also, Chad, in those statements, but I also think everyone should also be aware of the fact that this stuff's going to get more and more accurate and better. And you talk about the intellectual side of it, Chad, that those people will always have jobs. There's smart people out there saying, no, those are going to be some of the first fucking jobs to go. Is that you think you know your pension law?
I get it.
And some AI robot's going to know it 20 times better than you.
Can I ask a question though? This is me going out on a limb here and going back to people just gave me some kudos in the chat bar. Thank you for that. I'm going to go back to my idiot side real fast here. So David, this artificial intelligence learns, it understands things, it gets better as you put more into it, it begins to evolve. What happens when it just gets too smart? Can you like destroy this thing? Like, how does this work in terms of elimination of the artificial? Can you make it dumb again? Can you somehow start like maybe making it watch videos of our show to set it back a couple of years?
I'm sure we could break it somehow. Sure, that's yeah. I mean,
delete the files it learns.
It's not. The files aren't going to get up and.
Is it just Control Alt Delete? Like what happens here?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not. Yeah, it's not what's on the video right now, where the robot's coming after.
It will
talking
be
about internal computers. We're not building the actual robots, right? So, I mean,
they can build.
Hey, dude, but now it's smart enough to start building it on its own. Like you don't understand where my brain's going with all this. Like it's trippy to know that it's just getting more intelligent. Where I feel as I get older, I don't get more intelligent. It's the opposite effect for me. So
that's why you should have Stax.
Hey, buddy, I'm trying to help you in business here, okay?
No. It's fun to pontificate on all that shit, but it's cool to learn that you guys are doing it now. Hey, I'll be totally transparent. I'm very interested as a company. This would be fun.
We need
check out.
to be.
And I hope it sounds like Amanda's a fan, Shannon's a fan. So yeah, if there's anything we can do to help you spread the word, we'd love to check it out and get set up on it. I'll say that right here. So if Amanda's doing it and Shannon's doing it, it's good enough for me to try
but next time, don't offer a demo on our show, man. That just don't do that.
I'm not going to do it here on the show.
I'm just joking.
I would love
cartwheels on the phone.
I'd also love for y'all to think about, the advisors is our audience. Those are the people that we really want to empower. So there's got to be cool ways that Stax could help advisors with fiduciary review meetings and pulling down performance of funds from different vendors and putting it all into FI 360. You mentioned that I'm running out of time here, but you mentioned you had a strategic partnership with Pension Pro. And I could see how that would work. Pension Pro, for everyone out there, is kind of like almost like a client relationship management tool for third-party administrators. We use one called Pension Pal. I mean, you're not just going to partner with Pension Pro, right? love our partner. Oh, Brandon does not like Pension Pal. It's pretty archaic, but will you partner with other things?
Kind of archaic.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will.
Cool. Okay, it's time for a game, David. We are gonna play the totally original and everybody's favorite Nope or Dope game.
I thought your skateboard guy was gonna like poop out the word dope or something.
Oh,
That's a great idea.
Brandon,
There,
take
well, there you
notes.
have it.
Take notes. All right, the way this works, David, is I'm going to bring up a situation to you, and you're going to let me know if you think it's dope or nope, and then give us a little more detail on why you feel that way. I was putting on my socks the other day, and I noticed that many of my socks have a left sock and a right sock. So I'm a sock for each side of my feet.
Where are you buying your socks?
You don't
That's
got
a
those?
normal thing, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't shop at Dior.
No, it really is a normal thing, though.
It is a normal
Yeah.
thing.
No,
Is-
it's not.
Is
Yeah,
this,
it is.
is this dope or nope? And why, David? This left-right sock thing.
This is a nope. I'm one so confused on how you have a right and left one. They seem all the same to me. There was a guy on Shark Tank that wanted to sell 3 socks at once, saying that they disappeared in
Because
his
you lose one.
dryer. He called them
That's not
Throcks, I think, and,
Ooh.
and he got denied,
That's
and everybody
genius.
laughed at him. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing here. That's kind of ridiculous. So I'm going to say nope. on that
Nope.
one. Yeah.
Chad, I'm imagining that if you have these left and right socks and you accidentally put the left one on the right foot, you probably have a tizzy fit and freak
So-
out and like have to take them off and start. over.
For sure, I have to switch. But here's my thought on socks. It's one of the rare things that you should spend money to have the absolute quality, like your underwear, in your life. And so I don't want a left and right sock because it lasts longer, because I'm not stretching out the toe, the big toe on both sides. No,
Ooh.
I'll wear my socks, but I'm going to replace them often.
That's right.
I personally want to say, I don't think they're actually designed any different. I think they just print an L on one and an R on the
They
other.
are, they
Oh,
are,
not
they
at
really
all.
are, JD. I wrote in the chat bar, the compression socks, when they came out with the compression socks, they had to design them differently because your big toe sticks out further and comes back on that side. So they really are designed differently.
Well, maybe
Sure.
one foot smaller than the other. That's a thing, actually. Go and get them sized.
Custom socks. That could be a flourishing business model. Custom socks. Mark, do you have left and right?
No, just no. I'm
Are
just
you-
saying.
You're
No,
no.
you buy a 50 pack of socks from Costco, and then you just live with them for the rest of your life. Like
Justin,
I don't know what we're talking
I mean,
about, guys.
Justin, you're shopping at TJ
Hold on,
Maxx.
time out. One point.
No, I
White
did.
socks should just go away. It should only be black
Yeah.
socks. Just saying.
Wow.
Justin, you're walking down the sock aisle and
Oh,
you're
black socks.
staring at socks that have left and right on
That
them,
too.
and then socks that don't. Which one are you going to purchase?
I mean, you get the ones that do. I mean, we have a right and left shoe. Why do we not have a right and left sock?
Well stated. Well
Right?
stated.
Because socks can mold. They stretch. They mold your
No.
foot. They don't
You-
care if it's
Hey,
right
your
or
feet are
left.
different shapes either side, man.
Right.
Jesus.
Okay.
You're not going to win this one.
Next category, and the last category for tonight's Noverdo, tipping. And of course, tipping is good, but let's be specific. So
I thought you meant like cow tipping. I thought you're talking about tipping where, we're talking about tipping people.
gratuities.
That's for Chad. Yeah.
Pretty common to put a tip on your restaurant bill or what have you. But let me ask you,
Oh, sure.
David, do you tip your hotel maid when you stay at a hotel?
I do not. I have when I was on a cruise, but that was kind of like standard.
Okay,
But
okay.
That's mandatory. I thought.
So-
Yeah.
yeah, but
it
if
is
I'm
a-
in Vegas and I'm already losing enough money on the tables, I'm not tipping them.
All
That's
right,
Yeah.
that says a lot. That says a lot about you, David. Mark, do you tip when you're at the hotels?
Okay, I'm not going to go to the hotel route. I'm just going to derail your So I had the same thought of the other day. I'm a humble guy. I don't talk about stuff ever. I had furniture. I got a new couch. Okay, whatever. So what? We got a new couch delivered. I have that moment of, am I supposed to? I paid extra to have it delivered and set up in my living room. Do I need to thus then tip the people. And there were 4 guys. And I'm like, so I did what any person would do is I gave them all Gatorades. And I thought that was good.
That's a nice blend. Justin, my father-in-law says that when we go to restaurants, let's say you're going to give a 20% tip. He says that you take out the liquor. You don't tip on the margaritas and the beers and those things. It's just crazy talk to you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
I don't know. No, I mean, you tip a bartender for your booze. Why are you not tipping your waiter or waitress?
Yeah, you tip the whole thing.
They usually split in that scenario too.
Back to your hotel comment. I mean, Samsonite hit the nail on the head. Like, if you make a mess, you should be leaving a tip. When we were, I don't know where we were, but Brandon decided to throw away some of our set stuff on the last show, and he decided to let the maid do it and take it out. So he left him with $20.
Well, didn't Brandon also throw up in your hotel room one
Yeah, Brandon, I'm still waiting for my tip for cleaning up your puke, buddy.
Oh, by the way, on tipping, I tip in $2 bills actually. So
that's not gonna happen.
I go to the bank and I get $2 bills every other month.
Oh, I've heard people doing that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun. And then people remember you. It's cool. So,
or they might think it's just fake and throw it away, right? Like,
that's up to them. That's not my decision.
Or they're like, this is a $100 bill, you fucking cheapskate. $2. Mark, what do you tip typically? Like, what percent are you leaving for people at a restaurant? Or
it's always a minimum of 20%. If it's really good service, it's more. Yeah, it's never less than that.
Can I flip the question a little bit and say, please. What about when they force the tip in? Like when they force in the 18% gratuity because of the size of your party. I don't like that. Because 20 is usually my minimum, then they force it in and it makes me feel like that's all they're expecting. I imagine it's because some people stiff them.
You can always throw a little extra on there.
No, I know. I just don't want the hand forced.
I think what it's from is that
kind of like secure.
A lot of these people have big parties and then they just don't tip right at the end. So they just,
for sure.
Yeah, because 6, 8, 10, 12 people, how many ever you have, that's a lot to manage. So
I'm all for it.
I kind of look at it. Any personal service I'm getting, I typically tip. Like if I'm rolling through a sandwich shop, I'm usually tipping the sandwich artist.
That's an odd one. When you go up to a counter to like, I want a turkey sandwich and a Coke or whatever, and then they give you the receipt and there's a tip thing there. Like you literally had a 10-second transaction. I'm always throwing in a couple bucks on the day.
Oh yeah, you have to. You feel like.
What about when you go to like Yogurtland and you do everything yourself, and then they say, "Do you want a tip?" I'm like, "No."
Because here's how I feel, Justin, and I kind of do this.
But it's just you just press a button; it's already there.
I drive around in my Lambo, and when I see people that just look less fortunate than me, I just hand them 20s. You
just slip it out the window. You don't stop for them.
Oh, I don't want to touch them or talk to them. I just want to help them in their situation. I tip my pool my gardener.
You know what I will say this though about tipping is people are bad at math. A lot of people, and just recently, actually, like a few days ago, went and had lunch, and the receipt came, like the check came, and all you have to do is check a box now, and it totals it for you. It tells you what the tip is. Like it's 18%, 20%, 22%, 24%, or custom. I'm like, this is genius. You just check a box, sign, and go. Like, oh man. So I would have assumed Stax artificial intelligence would have already done that, but I guess they were behind the 8 ball on that.
You know who I do tip? I always feel very guilty for the DoorDash people. I feel like they're God's people doing hard work, bringing food to people. And so today, when I ordered DoorDash for last week's chat bar champion, Samson, I gave a big fat tip. I always up the tip on the DoorDash app. And especially when you're ordering $117 worth of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Samson, you're lucky, dude.
Samson, we can ask, the chat bar can ask him. Samson was delivered, let's see, 6, 12, 18, 24 wings in 4 different flavors. And I got him the hottest of the hot, the blazing, the gnarliest hot one. I got him a super hot one. I got him the garlic one, which I think is pretty good. Like, so he got 24 wings. He got a all American cheeseburger, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, mayo, mustard, French fries, and the ultimate nachos with
They have
hot
nachos?
peppers, crema salsa, pico de gallo, cilantro, nachos, ultimate nachos, and a New York style cheesecake. How was that, Sampo? Did you get in the cheesecake? I mean, after 24 wings, cheesecake probably feels good.
Diabetes.
And then you
Diabetes.
for the real diabetes, we got him a 20-ounce fountain soda. And if Buffalo Wild Wings is gonna give me the choice of Mountain Dew, I'm gonna fucking take it. So he got some Mountain Dew. So Sampo, if you're still here, hope it was good. So for this week's Chat Bar Champion, and I promise whoever wins tonight is going to get like a Target or a Walmart run from someone. I'm going to do it next week. Who is your vote, Justin, Silent J, for Chat Bar Champion tonight?
It is none other than the author. He was in Fuego tonight.
Yeah, he was.
The author?
Yeah.
I'll just
that
throw it
guy,
out there. He's
what
mine
Webb
as
just
well.
Who's the-
Absolutely on fire.
Look at Mike
tonight.
Webb's comment.
Oh, I missed
He
it.
doesn't want an acronym. It's the guy's
Hey,
name who gave you an
hey,
acronym.
I'm gonna call him. Well, yeah, JD knows who it is. I'm gonna say Aiden Yeehaw was really close for me.
Yeah.
I know it's not Yeehaw, but Aiden had one comment early that was so good he was down for number one, but Itzo was just too good tonight.
Hacker was good too.
That's who it is. It's Mark, your vote is for?
I've missed Mr. Webby, and he's calling me out for not tipping people, but I've enjoyed his commentary tonight.
I'm gonna back up Justin because I'm excited about
Yes,
buying-
Amanda, I missed you too.
I'm excited about buying weird shit for him. I think that'll be fun. I don't think I'll hold back with him, like with some really weird stuff. Your vote, David, for Chat Bar Champion.
I liked who was it in here? Josh said some wild stuff.
Right.
So that's a
that's
4-person
four.
vote. That's
Yeah.
solid.
There were some wild things he said in there.
Yeah, he doesn't have to drink for saying Josh, right?
No, anytime you
No.
mention him, you're
Okay.
supposed to
My
drink
favorite
for him.
comment was JD is mentioning 401k wire in every show because they jock sniff him. That did it for me.
Well,
That
I'm
was
kind of
early and good.
I'm kind of into the 401k wire thing because they gave me access. And so now I've been going there and it's very gossipy and cool. So it's kind of a new jam for me. I'm kind of psyched on it. Okay, this week's Chat Bar Champion is, I'll drink for it, Josh Itzo. Congratulations. And send me your address,
Is that his
Josh.
first win?
I think it is.
No
It is.
way.
It is. It is.
First time ever.
First time
Josh
ever.
Ellis.
Wow.
And I will be sending you a package next Thursday. I would recommend that you don't let your children open the box or the package when it comes. Like, make sure you get to the door first, and we'll see what you get.
Wait, hold on. This has to be a group text before it goes out.
Yeah, we need to know
Okay.
what you're sending.
I'll let you guys help me.
Oh my god!
Kush.
Kush is on the right. That Kush is on the right wavelength. That's kind of where
Oh,
I'm.
Kush.
Um,
Can I wait? Can Kush get Chat Bar Champion now?
Next week. Pre-vote.
David, thank you for being our guest. Thank you
Thank you.
for teaching us a little bit about Stax. Can't wait to learn more. And again, like I said earlier, if there's anything we can do to help you spread the word, assuming this shit works and you're not just full of it, and you just stump it into some scanner and it doesn't work, but I'm assuming it all works great. And everyone out there, thanks for tuning in. It's great to see some of you that we haven't seen for a while. Thanks for showing up and being a professional in 401k, because every Thursday you miss Retireaholics, you're not a professional. You need to be here. This is where 401k people hang on a Thursday night. And yeah, it's been another show. So let's play some fucking music.
Thank you, David.
Yes,
Thank you guys.
That
I'm
was
so
fun,
grateful
man.
So much. Thank you.